Daisy, what are your takeaways from today?
A much more competitive first half. It was a big improvement from last week. I thought we won the contest and territory battle. I think first quarter in particular, 70% time in forward half, which was pleasing, and had been a big focus this week. So was really pleased that we could respond after a disappointing start last week and get that turned around. But in the second half, that was probably the bit that fell away. St Kilda were able to get more and more midfield dominance that gave them the start, but then different from the first quarter when we could edge our way down the field through good decisions with ball in hand. We just coughed it up a little bit too much, which made it hard to defend. So some big improvements in the first half, which will give us good belief to kind of build off, but then some improvements to be made and be really honest about why we couldn't sustain it and what we need to do to keep turning that into a four-quarter performance.
That conversion piece and getting reward for effort, what's it going to take to unlock that, given, like you said, you guys were really dominant in that first quarter or so?
Our opportunities, particularly in the first half, I think we were 1 goal 5, so had one more scoring shot than them. They came off the back of really good contest work. Our pressure and ability to keep the ball in the front half, just the weight of numbers of that will eventually convert to scores, and that's what we were getting in the first half. The conversion is something we're always working on. It's just part of our weeks, and we'll keep chipping away at it. But I think the bigger issue was, as the game wore on, we couldn't create those opportunities as much because we couldn't keep the ball in our front half, and it was heading back St Kilda's way too often, so it put too much pressure on our offence to be able to actually score. But I sort of looked at that as a positive, that we could create six scoring shots in that first half.
Have you got an update on Emily Elkington? I know she's had a few concussion issues in the past. Yeah, she went under a HIA, so didn't play out the rest of the game, but don't have an actual update given that it's early days. But she'll get assessed during the week. Is there any worry for her sort of long-term future?
Oh, given the seriousness of concussion, any time anyone goes into a HIA, we worry for them. But too early to say, given it's so soon after the game. I'm not sure. I haven't touched base with the docs as yet.
Jess Lynch, she must be pretty happy. I thought she was huge for you in the minutes that she played in the first half. Is she poised to make a debut for you?
She was impressive. What we love about Wrenchy is just her energy and competitiveness. And it was a nice addition this week to have her out there for a half. She's just reloading after having a bit of hamstring awareness a couple of weeks. So, she got through really well in her half and was very eager to continue. Took some talking down at half time to park it. And the biggest thing is we've now got 2 weeks, and in a first year player's life, that's a lot of time to keep developing and to keep building, but she'll be right in the mix.
Nick Del Santo said you guys were really physical and made a point of the aggression that you guys put out there. Was that something you focused on? Yeah. I think it was something that was probably part of the thing we were a bit disappointed about last week, is we were a bit reactive and just let Fremantle sort of set the tone with that. So it was something that we knew we were capable of better and wanted to come out and bring that as part of our game today. So it was good to see, and then just sustaining it's the key again.
Emma Swanson playing behind the ball, can you talk us through what you liked about that move and if it's something we can expect going into the season? Yeah,
she was solid. A bit of something that we've been speaking about just as a way of adding versatility to her game. It's something she's done in the past early in her career, but for this week in particular we had Georgie Cleaver away on Australian netball duties, and Sophie McDonald not able to play because of a concussion last week. So we just needed to add a bit of experience and that competitiveness down back. So it was a good opportunity to have a look at it, and she did a really good job.
How do you sort of see that midfield mix sort of forming going into the season? Obviously a few girls going through there today. What excites you about sort of getting to see a few different looks and matchups? I think as much as all of those players can have secondary positions where they can impact, like we've had Bella Lewis and Ella Roberts spend a fair bit of time forward.
The same with Jess Hosking. Ali Drennan can play through the wing, so there's a few of them in there, but trying to maximise their strengths so that they can play elsewhere. We're starting to learn every week about what the right combinations are in there. We'll probably use all of them at different stages through the game. It's just a matter of getting the right balance. And yeah, for me as coach, or us as coaches, we learn every week about what the right mix is and what good combinations are. So just trying to get that timing right so that they're in there at the right times. But yeah, I think Ella, she impacts whether she's forward or mid. So we'll continue to try and pick the right moments in games for that. And yeah, off the back of today, for Swanee to be able to go back's a real positive as well.
I know it's only pre-season, but that sort of winning element and learning how to win a little bit, is that something you value as a coach, and just getting that sort of confidence up in a young group?
Yeah, well, we spoke about it last week that, regardless of scoreboard, we want to be playing and stepping in like winners, and having that attitude that, when the scoreboard's not looking our way, that we see that as a challenge, not so much of a threat or something that we step back from. We want to just keep leaning in and looking for every opportunity to keep improving. So when that starts turning on the scoreboard is out of our control, we just have to keep really refocusing on what the things are that get us in the game. Today will be a great example of that. We'll have a half of footy that gives us a really clear picture of what our best will look like, and then a half where we've got a bit of work to do.
Jamie Harkin, what do you make of her game today? Obviously, just named for you guys a few days ago. Her and Tess got out there today. What do you think? Yeah,
pretty impressive from both of them, really, considering the week they've had. They've been train-ons with us for a couple of weeks with Tess, and then more recently with Jamie. But yeah, they were impressive. I mean, Tess started the game on Wardlaw and then went into the ruck for us, so a big ask. And Jamie Harkin spent time matching up against Jamie Lambert, who's one of their best mids and a good mid in the competition. So, yeah, aside from the game, just their attitudes and ability to come in and quickly become a valued part of our team's been impressive. I thought Jamie, showed some really good moments and puts herself in the mix as another option to go through our midfield with her physicality, and just her aggression in there was really good against Jamie. Tess, we wanted to see her as a ruck, but then that versatility to play on the taller forwards might be something that we can keep looking at as well.
2 weeks' time, you're going to be playing your first game. What do you need to do in the next 14 days before you get to that? And improvements off Fremantle, but what are the improvements again off today that you need to do? Yeah,
I think the biggest one is just our decision making, or one of the big ones, our decision making when we've got the ball. Like in the first half when we were predictable to each other, and made good decisions there. It really helps our contest work and makes it easier for us to defend. Sometimes when we go chasing the aggressive options, it really makes the other parts of our game hard to sustain. So that'll be an ongoing focus, just our decision making and their ability in game to kind of control and make decisions and communicate when we want to be aggressive and play to our strengths and try and open up the game, and when the game calls for moments of control and a bit more conservative ball movement. So that will be a big focus. I think our forwards, they did a much better job in that first half of their ability to compete ahead of the ball and not lose their structure and get sucked up the ground. I think that'll be an ongoing thing for them. And then our backs as well, just their ability to keep up on their opponents and not retreat when we're under pressure, stay up in the game, and make sure that they're trying to win the ball back higher up the field rather than dropping off. So plenty to work on, but there will be every week, and we'll just keep going after it.